All right, welcome to 5D Transformations. So here's another video. We're going to be talking about an aspect of narcissism, and really what I want to highlight here is, how do you know, or what is it that's like, man, how do I know that this is a narcissistic relationship, or that there's narcissistic tendencies taking place in a relationship that I might have with somebody, whether a friend, family member, a spouse, child, parent, however it plays out. And there's one key thing that's really big to keep in mind is that generally you'll notice that you're always the problem with this person. Like, you're the one that is doing something wrong, and in a lot of cases, you'll notice that in your life, it's a very peaceful life for the most part. When it comes to people outside of those narcissistic relationships, generally you don't really get in arguments. You generally not in the space where you're loud or argumentative. Generally, it's going to be a space, you're in a space where you're very calm, things are relaxed, where you have positive interactions and engagements with people. But for some reason, when you leave the interaction with this one person or these individuals, something rubs you the wrong way. You're questioning yourself. You're wondering, did I really do something wrong? There may be feelings of guilt that you have, feelings of shame, feelings of confusion, trying to balance, oh man, maybe I could have did this better, or man. And then what you'll notice is, like, how come outside of your interactions with this person, you're not going through this every day? One key thing to understand is that the way you are with one person is the way you are with many people. So, let's say you're walking down the street and somebody curses you out and they're just really rude. A lot of the time you don't even have to engage that, because that's a reflection of them. They're carrying that energy with them everywhere they go. So they'll run into the next person, and that person may be the person that takes it to that level. But regardless, that person is on a path of creating a lot of toxic situations for themselves when it comes to dealing with people. And then let's say with yourself, you move throughout the world and you're not dealing with arguments. You're not going through crazy situations and fights and, road rage, crazy situations. You're generally, and everybody has moments where they can fall short, but I'm saying this in, like, overall, your pattern is more so a peaceful, relaxed, cool pattern. So that's a reflection of you and the energy that you bring. So when you find yourself in these situations with narcissists, the reason why their relationships work are because it does have that half of you bringing that cooperativeness, that camaraderie, that understanding, that higher communication, that empathy. These are being brought on your end, which are traits that build a powerful, long-term, positive relationship. But on the narcissist end, you're wondering, okay, that's one half of the cycle. We have good moments, we have good conversations, we have breakthroughs where it's like, maybe we can fix this situation. And then it always reverts back to a narcissistic blow up. And you once again return, whether it takes a month, 3 months, 5 months, a couple days, or a couple years, which, generally doesn't end up having to take a couple years unless you just haven't talked to them for a long time. But eventually it comes back again, and you'll notice, man, I did something wrong again. It's always, I'm doing something wrong with the narcissistic mate. It's always, man, I'm giving my best foot forward every day. Yes, you might make mistakes, and you might do things that are wrong, because nobody's perfect. But the amount of guilt that gets put on you, the narrative that can build from there, that they can project onto you, can create a story that's so much bigger than if it was somebody else that, let's say, was a little bit more emotionally healthy or balanced. They might say, oh, okay, that's no problem, it's not a big deal. But for the narcissist, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's this huge letdown. It's such a big burden of emotional disappointment and frustration and failure that they place on you. When on one level, you think they're doing it, they're expressing themselves, it's meant to be helpful, to make you aware. But on another level, it's bringing up so many feelings of doubt, insecurity, confusion, disappointment. And why would you want to project that on somebody that is not a malicious person? it's like you're taking on the energy of, man, I've done something malicious, but you're not even a malicious person. Those aren't your intentions. Your intentions get twisted, and then you feel as though you have to make up for that, and then that just makes you their tool. So on one level, you just got to be like, wow, why do we always end up in these cycles where I'm doing something wrong? And then on another level, you say, man, that person has to be responsible for their energy. Why is it that it's always going down this hill when I'm around them? We're all adults, we shouldn't be getting into these negative entanglements because of miscommunications. It's just not worth it. I look at it like 99% of your interactions should be positive every day, really 100%. And any negative interactions you have, if you're always putting your best foot forward, then okay, I have this entanglement because that person's bringing something into the mix that isn't meshing well. And you need to distance yourself because these things continue to happen. So a lot of people might be in situations where they may be in a situation with a narcissist or somebody with narcissistic tendencies, and they're trying to figure out, why do I feel this shame? Is it my fault? Is it their fault? Whose fault is it? And I just want you to know, by you even having that thought and even contemplating that, number one, it shows your empathy and emotional intelligence because you're trying to figure out this emotional situation that played out. But I'm here to also say, just because you're even having that thought lets you know that it's a reflection of them more so than you. And then finally, just what I'll say is that, is a narcissist sitting down right now thinking, man, did I mess up? Let me apologize to them again tomorrow. Let me see if I can right this wrong, or I'm sorry that everything went like that. No. Odds are they're relaxing, doing whatever they're doing. They're very comfortable. Whether comfortable or uncomfortable, they're very innately content with the fact that you did something wrong and that it was really your fault. And that's the issue with the narcissistic relationship, is that it's too imbalanced, and that's the problem. It's just the imbalance makes it an ineffective or inefficient or unproductive relationship for someone that isn't narcissistic. Of course, narcissists can benefit you in different ways, so from a distance, but these are the things that you encounter, and these are the things that make it unproductive, because you're left feeling as though there's a flaw, there's a hole in you, versus feeling more empowered. And it's not being reciprocated. Like, they don't care to meet you halfway, or and that's an imbalanced relationship. And those are relationships that lead people to, destruction and low places. So just keep that in mind. Thanks for listening. And make sure to like and subscribe. I'm gonna keep dropping these videos, if you all are liking them. So I appreciate you all. For any coaching, you can reach out to me at your5dtransformations@gmail.com. And aside from that, we'll talk soon. Check out the Patreon as well for exclusive videos. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.